for Hamiga. Sabita Baza. Daniel, fade away. Money.
There you go. It's going to be a top violation.
Puts it up on the buzzer. Gets it to goal.
Soglu, whoa!
Swallow doubles up.
Wide open!
It's good! It's good! And that...
I'll have a strong, smooth, creamy latte.
Be your own barista at Coles Express. Award-winning Coles Urban coffee culture from just $1.
Express yourself!
At Coles Express.
Fasten up your seatbelts, do a double take. Don't need to be a millionaire to roll this kind of way. Yeah, I got the recipe to do it every day. Straight to the top, and that's where we gon' stay. Yeah. Step it up, step it up your game. Yeah, yeah, we do it every day. Step it up, step it up.
Take it to the next level.
Step it up again.
Mitsubishi Pajero Sport. Elevate your adventure.
Suffer from muscle or mild joint pain? Try Kanzia Pain Relief Cream from Zia, an anti-inflammatory cream providing temporary pain relief using natural active ingredients. Experience the Zia difference at zia.com.au.
Good evening and welcome back to the Fortress in Casey Stadium in Cranbourne, the home of the Casey Cavaliers for your NBL 1 South Division men's action here tonight. The Casey Cavaliers host the Ballarat Miners, and if you missed earlier this evening, the Ballarat Miners girls knocked off the Casey Cavaliers by 13 points in what was a very professional display. But stay with us as we bring you tonight's men's action. It's set to be a belter. Trent Knight, Reece Knight bringing you all the action for tonight's men's game, and plenty to fight for tonight. Casey men's getting a win on the road last weekend in a tight contest, and the Ballarat Miners going down to a much better Waverley Falcons. So plenty to prove for both teams tonight. Are Casey capable of getting two in a row, especially on their home court? And can Ballarat rebound after a fairly heavy loss last week? It's certainly going to be an exciting night of basketball to come.
Yeah, looking forward to it in a big, big way. Thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to this one. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what Casey do. We saw them a couple of weeks ago here against Frankston, and geez, there was a moment in that game where you just thought, oh, they were really sloppy, really off. But I'm looking forward to seeing how their offense goes. Of course, Jack Perry back. We didn't see him a couple of weeks ago here at home. I'm looking forward to that in a big, big way. We saw Jide last week. I swear he pulled down what felt like 30 rebounds. It wasn't quite that much, but it was a big factor on the rebound side of the ball, and I reckon Casey might get the job done here. I'm looking forward to it. I know I tipped the girls as well, and offensively they weren't at their best, but I'm hoping the lads are, and we can come away with at least a 1-1 split and make at least one Ballarat trip home not as comfortable. So I'm looking forward to it. Who do you think's going to win this one?
I think with momentum going Casey's way, then they should be able to get the job done. News out of the Fortress as well. Earlier this week, they signed Patrick Emilian, who makes his debut for the Cavaliers tonight. So can't wait.
Looks like a brute, by the way.
An absolute machine. We saw him in the warm-up slamming down dunks that you could feel in Turritin. So we can't wait for him to make his way onto the court tonight. Not starting. Preston Bungay still out at the moment, though, as well, which we saw a couple of weeks ago was really big in their offensive transitions. But Jack Perry coming back in the lineup for tonight should be able to assist in that. But stay with us as we bring you all the NBL 1 South Conference men's action tonight. Casey Cavaliers host the Ballarat Miners, as Jide as well as Rudolph for the Miners will take the tip off. Let's get it underway. That's a huge tip-off win for Jide. We're going to get a possession and cleaned up in the commentary position. Perry, that's Jack, uses his brother in Mason. Jide inside, spins, goes to drive, has to beat three, and that's what we wanted from him. That's what we wanted 2 weeks ago, and that's the start that the Cavs were looking for tonight.
Wow, Mason Perry and Jide, they both fought through heavy contact. One to keep the ball in play and one to set up. the end of the offensive possession. That's a great fadeaway basket by Jide. As we see, a huge block.
And very clean to keep the ball in play as well. That's massive.
Nathan Frost, your man.
Perry stops.
No
Jide's
way.
going to take the three.
Oh.
No good. Mark's no good enough to get the offensive rebound. Posts up.
Great
goes
move
big.
inside.
Jide with the tip in though off the glass. And the Cavs are on fire early in the first.
He's working together, aren't they? Jide there, the only man even close to getting that. And right now, the Miners are going to need something.
Zoglu, Rudolph. Works it on the far side. Open three-point attempt. No good. Just had a little too much sauce on it. That shot from Pozzoglu, but Rudolph good enough under the rim to get the rebound and basket down. 2-point ball game. 1:14 played. Casey Cavaliers 4 leading the Ballarat Miners 2. As
Left him alone.
Marks. 3-point attempt. No good. Frost with the rebound. He's
Oh, that's a
good.
trouble.
Mason Perry sits and waits. 7 on the shot clock. Gonna have to make something happen. Looks for Jide. No, goes to Frost. Open three. Good! And the Iceman is just showing the boys how it's done. It's the way he flies. It's ice cold. And that one's sailing straight into the basket. Casey absolutely dominating on the scoreboard early. Casey 7 leading Ballarat 2 with 8:11 on the clock.
Here's Mason Perry, 2 amazing efforts. That first one we spoke about earlier, but the crossover in the look and the pass was awesome. He's off to a great start as we see some great defense and a 3-on-2 situation with Marks here.
Perry steadies. Oh, that would have blown the roof off the Fortress if his return basket was a 3. But the shot no good. And Dunmore for the Miners will bring it broadcast side. Pozzoglu.
Haven't really had a good look yet, the Miners. I know Rudolph got that layup through contact.
Rudolph now posts up Jide. That's no easy task. Jide does enough to put the shot off, though.
Treated him with disdain, too, did the big man.
Just stood tall and went, if you're going to take me on, make sure you win. Marks. Left shoulder.
They're giving a bit of space to that left wing, the Miners, which defensively is not going to be the greatest thing, I don't think.
Jide has a look. Has Perry at the top of the key. He'll go. That's Mason. That's going to be short. Frost does well to keep it in. Now Jack Perry. Oh, off the front of the rim. Jide does
got it again.
Jide does well to keep it in. Now Marks goes
Oh,
the drive.
that was clever.
The fake, the drive.
He's missed it. And a kickball.
And he hung on to the rim a little too long, and then he's decided to just punt it away so that there was no rebound. Kickball violation. Clean hands, though, just not able to produce the result. But 5-point ball game. Casey 7 leading Ballarat 2 with 6:53 on the clock.
Yeah, both defenders just got drawn to Jide there, so he had an open basket. Not sure what page of the playbook that was, as we see a nice bank shot.
Davidson off the glass for 3 is spectacular.
Wanted the foul too, but the ref's just kind of looking at him like, no, he's still asking for one actually, but you've actually got a man to defend here, mate. Let's worry about that, I reckon.
Marks, Frost, inside hands coming in from everywhere from
great defense.
Pozzoglu, but no foul called, so the Miners will transition. And trying to do it all himself was Jack Davidson, and realised he got outmanned in the end. Mason Perry steadies, now goes to his brother, 1-2. Pass back probably wasn't quite as clean as he wanted. The right hook off the glass, no good, so the Miners will come away. And it's going to be Rudolph to Pozzoglu up centre court.
The defense from the Miners getting a bit better in the paint. Still leaving some space on the perimeter, but the Cavs aren't wanting to shoot that shot, although Rudolph here with an open 3. Thank you very much. Cash money.
Yes, that is about as training drill, a 3-point attempt, as you'll see. Had no one around him for miles.
And just quietly after a slow start, the Miners are in front.
Yes, they are, leading Casey by 1. 8 to the Miners, 7 to the Cavaliers. 5:35 to play. Jide goes the drive, has to beat 3. Went for the bounce pass under to Frost. Foul was called, and it's going to be a Casey ball substitution play. Patrick Emilian to make his debut for the Casey Cavaliers, replacing Frost.
This could be something special. He is a genuine brute of a man.
But there's nothing on him. Like he's
He's
no.
very light, so hopefully he's got some speed behind him.
But the springs in his legs nearly took him to the roof of the Fortress in the warm-up.
He
So
was nearly dunking off the shot clock.
keep an eye on him. I expect we'll be calling his name quite a bit throughout the afternoon.
Nice screen to start too.
Perry Probably should have been double dribble, but no.
Oh, that was brilliant by Mason
Jide
Perry
has
there.
to go. Hook no good. Shot clock got to him, I reckon, but foul called, and Jide will go to the line for 2.
Yeah, Brooks and Rudolph there, really good defence. Probably unlucky to give that one away, but the Cavs will take it, and may not be the most high-scoring of games, but there is a tension, there is an atmosphere in this building right now that says we might be witnessing something pretty special here as Jide goes to the line, and that's not what we're after.
So first free throw, no good from Jide.
Someone's just chanted they want a burrito, but that's actually for the away team, guys.
If you're in the area tonight, come on down to Casey Stadium. For tonight only, Guzmani Gomez have promised burritos to the crowd if the Miners go 0 from 2 or 3 from the free throw line at any stage. Jide!
Oh, he's called the foul.
And it's a push against, I think that actually went against Perry. No, Jide's asked for confirmation and it was against him. Looked clean from our side, but the ref called it. And it's going to be Amos Brooks for the Miners to go to the line for 2.
He's played some nice defence the last couple of possessions, so he deserves this. Has Amos Brooks. But the volume right now, I'm loving all of this. I hope you are too, wherever you're watching, wherever you're listening. Jide with another rebound. I reckon that's his 5th.
Yeah, Brooks no good on the second free throw.
And the debutant himself.
Marks.
Might get himself an assist. Yeah. Oh, that's okay, no.
I think the entire stadium wanted a foul in that one, but Marks no good. Got stripped of it. So the Miners will go again. Pizoglu. Rudolph. Brooks. Tries to do it around the back pass, no good, but good enough to intercept Jide's pass. Now $1 million for Casey. Steadies and takes a bit of pace off. Goes to Mason Perry. Now Jide goes to drive. Brooks stands right in his way. You've got to be a mountain of a man to stop Jide. And going up the other
that'll
way.
get the home crowd up.
That was fantastic to be able to keep the clean block. And boy, won't Pizoglu be feeling that. Coming up a little ginger and a little worse for wear after that. But $1 million with a fantastic block, saving a certain layup basket.
You want to indoctrinate yourself into the club. Yes, please.
Excitement on game 1, period 1 is how you introduce yourself to the home crowd, as that's a clean ball in, and Jack Davidson goes the right shoulder jump shot for 2. So 3-point ball game. The Ballarat Miners 11 leading Casey to 8. $1 million steadies, goes to 3, no good. Had 4 taps off the rim. We weren't quite giving up on it until it bounced away.
Any Philadelphia 76ers fans in the house wondering why that didn't happen to Kawhi as Davidson. An amazing pass.
That was cheeky.
Work.
$1 million, does he go the dunk? No, just the right hook though, but he opens his account for the Casey Cavaliers. For his career with the Casey Cavaliers with a right hook. We thought maybe the Springs were going to get just getting lubed up there.
I think he wanted to as well.
Not to use them just yet. We've got to save a bit of fireworks for later in the game. But we're back to a 1-point ball game. As the shot from Rudolph, no good, goes back, gets the pass from Brooks and then delivers on the second attempt. 3-point ball game, Ballarat 13 leading Casey 10. 3:28 to play.
Just with the size that the Cavs have got, if the Miners are going to get some offensive rebounds, they are going to be like gold nuggets at the moment.
$1 million steadies. Oh, you can hear the crowd in the background screaming for the basket to drop. But the wrap around the rim, no good. Davidson.
Been their most potent offensive threat.
Works off Mason Perry. And that's going to be over the backboard. So Casey to bring it back in. And Blake Taylor is coming on for Casey Cavaliers, replacing Hunter Marks. So Marks to the bench. Jack Perry to Taylor. Bounce pass to $1 million. Has to beat 2. Back out to Taylor. 3 years, good!
That's how you come off the bench, right there, straight out of a substitution. Open, great assist by $1 million, the new man, as we see some nice ball movement from the Miners, but he's just getting himself involved, $1 million, which is good. And cash money from Blake Taylor, which was nice.
Rudolph, good in response for the jump shot, so we're back to a 2-point ball game. Ballarat 15 leading Casey 13, 2:24 on the clock.
Has 10 of the 15 points, Rudolph.
They're certainly making this scoring tally his own tonight. Emelian steadies, leans back, no good off the back of the rim.
None for three. He's done everything else right.
Rudolph uses Davidson on the outer side. Now broadcast side. Pozoglu kicks it out. Probably a little sloppy in the pass. Lloyd goes the drive. Then the kick out to the far left. That's going to have too much on it. Jide just sits and catches underneath. Now Jack Perry finds Emelian. Will he go the kick out? No, he takes on two. Wanted the foul, not called. Basket no good. And the Miners will come away through Davidson again, who steadies for the three. Good! And they stretch it out to a 5-point lead. Ballarat 18 leading Casey 13. 95 seconds on the clock. And an intercept ball as well. Jide not happy with Perry.
Yeah, Amos Brooks did a really nice job there as Davidson gets himself another two, but they're starting to get on top. Now the Miners, poor Mason Perry's been ignored on that left wing. I know he's not the biggest of men, but he's been there on his own a couple of times. Barking instructions. You just get the feeling they need the next basket here, or they get away with it. The Cavs as the foul is called. Inbound this will be for the Cavs. It's only 7 points the margin. Feels a bit bigger though.
Jack Perry coming off for Casey, replacing him is Hunter Marks. And Thosby coming back on for the Miners in replacement of Davidson. And Brooks taking a breath as well.
Yeah, keep an eye on Jide here. With Brooks going to the bench, he's got the most size by a mile and the most physicality for the Cavs.
Taylor, Emelian, tries to go about as fancy a hook as you could ask for under the rim. Couldn't quite get the basket to drop, but a shooting foul the result. So Emelian will go to the line for two.
He had half the windmill out. Yet by the end of tonight, he's going to have the highlight of the day. Now, whether that's going to be a positive or a negative for the Cavs is yet to be seen.
You can just feel something in him.
Something's going to happen that he's going to make this roof be in very, very, very sorry state. With structural problems here at the Fortress. The crowd's up and about. We're up and about. And hopefully you can put these in and cut the margin to 5.
First free throw, no good.
There's a jinx if you've ever seen one.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah, no, that's all right.
So with 1:05 on the clock, we'll look to go 1 of 2. And no good. Jide couldn't get the tip in off the rim as well. So 7-point ball game. Ballarat 20 leading Casey 13. 60 seconds on the clock in this first term.
Yeah, big finish here coming. The Miners can maintain this 2-possession plus lead. They'll be very happy with that.
Thosby got stripped of it. No, I think he thought he had a little more room than what he actually did.
I don't know what page of the playbook missing your teammate by 4 metres is on, but apparently it's there.
Out of bounds is the result though, so Marks will bring it in for Casey through Mason Perry.
I'd like to see him maybe get a good ISO spot, Mason Perry, and take the responsibility.
Taylor decides to drive and then behind the back kick out to the far right shoulder.
Well, at least 2 possessions coming here for the Cavs.
It was Rudolph getting the hand in, so out of play. Casey ball. Frost will receive the inbound. Looks for Marks. Emelian wants it on his left and gets it. On his right, sorry. Now posts up, has 4 to beat. Mason Perry. It was sloppy, but they cleaned it up really well in defence there. Marks has to shoot before the shot clock beats him. Emelian with the offensive rebound. Sits, waits, goes back outside the zone. Marks just outside the paint on the right side. Posts up. Back out to Mason Perry. Steadies for the 3. Going to be short and then double tap off the rim. No good. 7 seconds on the clock for the first term.
This would hurt.
Cody sits, steady, shots up. Good! Max Cody off the bench goes bang and drops a 3-pointer buzzer beater to put a 10-point margin on this game. Ballarat Miners 23, leading Casey 13 going into quarter time.
Well, it was almost an identical start in the women's game as well. It's KCR getting decent enough looks, but the offense just not working for them. They've missed some free throws. They missed a lot of 3-pointers in that first quarter. I wouldn't be surprised if they'd gone 2 for 8, 2 for 9 around that area. But the Miners have made better decisions for longer, and they deserve this 10-point lead. But I don't think the Cavs had a 13-point first quarter on their minds when they came into this one.
No,
Not a good start.
Absolutely not. 19 of Ballarat's 23 points scored so far, though. Jack Davidson with 10, and it's Tyler Rudolph with 9. And for Casey, Jide leading with 5, and joining him on the scoreboard is Frost and Taylor with 3 apiece, and a million with 2 to his name.
And of course, I talked about before, Amos Brooks coming off. What impact would they have on Jide? Well, it turns out none. Jide had the first 4 points for the Cavs. He's only had 1 since, and Brooks has really gone to him. So he's done a fantastic job. Take a breath. It's only 10 points, still 3 quarters. You don't have to be in front at half time to get yourself back into the game. So looking forward to seeing what happens here.
So
big second quarter coming up.
10-point ball game. This first period break brought to you by Guzman y Gomez. Head down to GYG Cranbourne or Fountain Gate for your next Mexican fix. Fast food your mum says yes to. So get along for a great Mexican feed. And
He might go on the way home, I reckon.
so big second term coming up. Ballarat inbound ball. And Rudolph uses Cody.
Massive buzzer beater 3 as well by Max Cody. He's used the ball pretty well.
Gets the screen, tries to beat 3. Now the spin, jump shot, no good. Lingard, though, for Ballarat sits underneath it. Kicks it out to Rudolph, who now has to try and post up a million. Does so really well and gets the jump shot in on the fadeaway as well. So,
Geez, they've shot well through contact, haven't they, the Miners?
yeah,
It's
they
been
really have.
good.
It's been a big part of why they've got such a big lead. They're just able to stand up under the pressure. A million, Frost, Taylor. A million, steady.
3 from 3.
Good! And his first 3-pointer for the Casey Cavaliers drops, and boy, don't they need that.
Yeah, well done, young man. None for 3 in that first quarter, but they all missed by a whisker. It wasn't like he was airballing or missing by a big weight. Once one falls, the rest tend to follow, so fingers crossed he can get some offense going for the Cavs, but right now they need to stop.
8 on the shot clock. Cody goes a bounce pass behind. He's back to Rudolph. 3-point attempt, no good.
There you go.
Marks does well to keep it in. Off the
There's your
back
stop.
of the head, though, off Lloyd. So it's going to be a Casey inbound ball. Substitution play. Jide coming back on for a million, who's having a rest after putting up 5 points so far. He'll be looking to impress his home crowd on debut.
Big size difference here, Jide, on Jordan Lingard at the moment. They've got to take advantage of it. They've got to get Jide in the paint. Top of the key ain't doing the Cavs a whole lot of help here as Frost goes for 2. Not quite.
Off the glass, no good. So Ballarat will attack again. Lingard crosses to the far side in Cody.
Again, if Jide's there in the paint fighting for the rebound, they could be going for a second chance points as
And
Rudolph.
that's just strength by Rudolph, just to muscle his way under the rim and throw one up and drop it down as well. So 9-point ball game. Ballarat Miners 27 leading Casey 16. Taylor bounce to Jide. Now Frost, he want to dribble or he's going to get pinned. Marks tries to take on 4. Taylor has Jide, doesn't use him, that shot short. Frost, though, does really well to get the rebound and get the shot up and shooting foul for his trouble, and he'll go to the line for an at 1.
That's why you've got to have someone in the paint. We talked about Jide earlier, but Frost, the man, again, through contact. Both teams are actually shooting. The more contested the shot, it seems like the better. Both teams are shooting at the moment, and these have just got to go in. A million missed both of his. Jide missed one in that first quarter as well. So they've left 3 points on the board. They can't afford to make it 4 here with your man Frost.
Yeah, the Iceman at the line for an ad 1. And nails it. So we're back to an 8-point ball game. Ballarat Miners 27 leading, Casey 19. 7:48 on the clock in the second term. And Rudolph uses Thosby, fakes the 3, now kicks it out. And a 3-point shot is good from Pozoglou. Probably just had a little too much time on his hands there, but he stretches the lead back out to 11. Ballarat 30, leading Casey 19.
Still had a hand in his face. It still dropped it, and I think Frosty wanted to do the same as he dishes out to Marks. He's got Jide, who should be closer to the paint than he is the 3-point line. Unless this goes in, it doesn't, and once again they lose the rebound. Although he's gotten back beautifully, the big man.
Height makes all the difference in the world in this game, and Jide just stuck the glove out and had enough on it to be able to control the ball. So that's an intercept play.
He wanted to screen there, Mason Perry from Hunter Marks. Didn't get it.
Marks with the 3 attempt. Good! That's why he didn't offer the screen.
Yeah,
he wanted the 1-2 for the 3-point attempt and dropped it. Ballarat 30, leading Casey 22. 6:42 on the clock in the second term.
Done a lot right, Mason Perry. It might not seem it on the scoreboard as we see a 3 air ball. I'll get back to my point in a second as
Zoglu goes none for 2 on 3-point attempts.
But yeah, he's done a lot right, Mason Perry, assisting the passing of the ball as Marks goes up.
Oh,
Through
that was
contact.
disgusting. Marks over the top of Pozzoglu as well. Oh, you couldn't have written it. That was outstanding control from Marks. And wouldn't you know it, we're back to a 6-point ball game. Ballarat minus 30, leading Casey Cavaliers 24. Timeout called with 6:24 on the clock.
But like we said, all you got to do is get a stop here, stop there, get good shots. 2-on-1, Hunter Marks. He just said the only way you stop this from going in is if you hit me, and then I'll take my and one. He's not going to get one on this occasion, but like we said, they don't have to get rid of the margin straight away. Nearly half the quarter gone, nearly half the lead gone. That's exactly what they have to do. They're doing it really well. I'd still like to see a bit more of a presence for offensive rebounds from Jide. Nathan Frost did it really, really well, and it brought him an and one. But other than that, this has been a good start to the second quarter for the Cavs and for the Miners. Their three-pointers are not going in at all. They're fighting through contact well. But if the Cavs can stop them from getting into the paint, they might be able to get a few extra stops, and it is going to be a close half-time margin if that's the case.
This timeout break brought to you by Carlisle Homes. Looking to build a home? Start with Carlisle Homes and make sure you do the online referral form to get $500 back into your pocket, which we all love. So make sure to check them out for your home building needs. 6-point ball game, 6:24 on the clock. Casey trailing at the moment. Ballarat 30, Casey 24. And it is certainly shaping up to be an exciting evening of NBL 1 South Conference basketball. Underway again, Ballarat through Pozzoglu, tries to move it quickly. Emilian with the intercept though, the pass no good, goes to Marks. Oh, the alley-oop dunk for Emilian was electrifying. Put that into the highlight reel, we called it in the first term. I've just absolutely smacked Reese's arm there, so sorry about that.
I bruised like a peach, but I'll forgive you.
But that was electrifying from the debutant. We knew he could fly, but little did we know that he could soar.
I'll tell you what, I know we're talking basketball for a second. There is a Mexican wave going on in this building. There are chants going on in this building. This joint has come alive.
What a way to introduce yourself to your new club. You start dropping points and then alley-oop dunks like that. Great control from the Cavaliers, though, as they work it through hands now as well.
Oh, the Euro step from Jide. Yes, please.
And Jide just walks to the rim. And wouldn't you know it, within, a minute and a half, we're back to a 2-point ball game.
Yeah, what idiot said they were going to try and not wipe it off in one quarter?
Ballarat 30, leading Casey 28, as all the momentum is with the Cavaliers at the moment.
That Mason Perry
there. Now the Miners are just cleaning themselves up. Davidson wants it all himself, but he has enough composure to steady for the 3-pointer back and just take a little bit of heat out of the momentum here.
Mason Perry twice got a hand in the face of the offensive player. Did really well.
Emilian.
He's the only man on target at the moment.
And goes bang! A slam dunk and a 3-pointer to follow. Boy, how this home crowd's loving that.
And don't forget, the first thing he did that indoctrinated him to the crowd was a huge block, and he's done pretty well defensively here.
Davidson answering with his own 3 again.
Running the offense now, Davidson, that right.
He's leading the tally for points scored tonight for the match with 16. Perry and Emilian go 1-2. Now back to Emilian. Surely can't go again. Surely not. No, the contact wasn't quite enough for the whistle, but the layup off the glass no good. So Davidson with a deep 3.
He's doing this on
timeout called.
Good call too.
Casey looking to take the break with 4:08 on the clock. That is astonishing shooting from Davidson. He's not even looking to step inside the zone. He just goes, I've got the distance and the time to get it done. I'm going to just put it in the basket, boys. Stay with me. 39 to the Ballarat Miners, leading Casey 31. back out to an 8-point ball game with 4:08 on the clock.
Yeah, he's on 19 at the moment, and I reckon 5 of those would have been from downtown. They're giving him just a bit too much range at the moment. The positive, if there is a positive for the Cavs, is that no one else is bringing much offensively at all. But 3 minutes ago, the margin was just 6 points. A minute and a half ago, it was only a basket, and now it's back out to 8. This game is being played at a frenetic pace, and I would just like to see a bit more movement on the offensive end. We've got the Mexican wave going at the moment, which we absolutely love. The atmosphere, Saturday night basketball, you love it. The Fortress right now is going off, and if they can pull off this win at the moment, this joint is going to go absolutely bunter.
Yeah, certainly a very nice crowd in attendance at Casey Stadium tonight. This timeout break brought to you by Illusion Gas Log Fires. Keep warm this winter by installing an Illusion Gas Log Fire in your home. A great way to stay cosy during the colder months of the year. Or warm yourself up and make your ways down to the Casey Stadium in Cranbourne, the Fortress, home of the Casey Cavaliers. It's going to be certainly an exciting as Emilian steadies through. Good! Oh, the debutant is on fire at the Fortress as he goes splash with another 3. Ballarat minus 39, leading Casey 34. 3:45 left to play.
If we get a petition going, can it just be him versus Davidson for the second half? What are the other 4 of both teams doing out there? As Hazoglu goes up and helps prove my point as the ball gets around. Hunter Marks.
Does he go
half
to the
step?
No.
That's going to be a foul for sure as he tumbles into the advertising board. He's a bit ginger at the moment too, staying down.
I think he caught one to the left knee on the way through there as well. So
fingers crossed he is okay.
We will keep an eye on that. Marks yet to regain, to come back to his feet.
Yeah, a little bit of concern here. The hands have gone to the head. He's clearly grimacing in some pain. I think he's going to be removed and looked at. Was pretty heavy contact and a pretty heavy landing, it must be said as well.
Yeah, we'll be sure to keep you updated on that as it comes to pass.
The concerning part, because as we know, concussion, big thing in sport, he's only held his head at the moment. He hasn't held his leg, he hasn't held his hip, his wrist, anything like that. Both of his hands are behind his head. Now, that could just be the pain, of course, and fingers crossed there's nothing going on with his head. We need to be taking the utmost care. Accidental contact, of course, not implying the other way. On the fast break, 2-on-1. Foul definitely there, handled beautifully by the refs, but it's all about Hunter Marks at the moment and hoping that he is okay. He's getting to his feet now with the help of trainers.
The left leg.
Yeah, it's definitely his leg.
Looks might be an ankle or a knee, but we will be sure to bring you an update on that at the main break.
Blake Taylor's going to be the man to take the free throws. No idea how they decide that. Maybe it's his replacement. I don't think Blake Taylor was on the court when that happened.
No, substitution replacement for Marks, obviously having to come off. So
he's the one that takes free throws. It makes sense.
Swap out for.
It's a pretty logical sport.
Swap
this
out
one.
the shooter for the replacement shooter. So
pretty good man to replace him with, by the way.
Taylor goes.
Thank God he made that one.
Good on the first one. That'll put a bit of spirit into the Casey Cavaliers now, though. They want to win for Marks, having gone down.
Yep.
We'll be sure to bring you an injury update on that. And that just looked like there, Pozzoglu just decided to help that one in for Casey. But 2 for 2 from the free throw line from Taylor.
Back to a possession, which is key.
3-point ball game.
Or might have been an illegal screen
that was
there.
a hip and shoulder and a half. As the jump shot attempt from Pozzoglu, no good. Miners do enough to control it, though. 3 on the shot clock.
Jide, great block.
Fantastic hands. Goes over the top to Emilian. Works his way back into the inside. Has to stop and wait.
Great awareness, and he had 3 defenders in front of him.
Game clock just resuming now because of the
great ball movement. Mason Perry.
Play resumed. Jide gets the rebound. Jack Perry. Good!
In for a Perry, in for a pound, you could say. One didn't hit it, one did.
And that's what he brings to the lineup, and won't he be loving that? Tied ball game, 2.5 to play in the second term. 39 apiece, Casey Cavaliers and the Ballarat Miners.
Double teaming Davidson, good call there. Great defense for the Cavs.
Travel the call.
Great defense, double teaming him. He's not happy. I actually don't think he's touched the ball without talking to the refs tonight. Jack Davidson, the man. But Jide came over for the double team. Emelian's going to bring the ball inbounds. Jack Davidson still, for some reason, thinks the ref's going to change her mind. Don't really think that's how it works.
Clearly not happy with that call, but
if
Mason
he's
Perry
complaining
looks
and
clean in his steal.
Well, if he's complaining and distracted, that's all the better for the Cavs. Is Emelian...
No, that was not a pass. That was a hand in from
I'm calling it. Jide. Oh, great block.
Gets blocked, and that was really dangerous as well because Jide was on the rise.
Yeah, Pasoglu there did really nicely.
So we've just had a little bit of a lull in play at the moment.
And no one really wants the lead here, do they? Oh, that's a foul on Jack Perry. Oh, it's a travel.
Travel
okay.
called. And Jack Davidson for the Ballarat Miners is going to hit the roof. Jack Perry causing that travel call on the far left shoulder. But look, if you're a Casey fan and player, you'll take it. When the whistle goes your way, doesn't matter how it happens.
Yeah, ladies and gents, that's why I don't ref.
So Jide, Jack
Great
Perry,
ball movement.
Mason, Taylor.
Deserves this.
Short. Yeah, it was always going to land short. So with 1:43 on the clock, the Miners are going to have to try and inject some legality back into their play at this point.
Yep.
The last two offensive plays have both coughed up the ball. Jump shot from the free throw line, though, is good from Jake Lloyd, just to sort of steady the heat in this game.
Just got to his spot, didn't he? Let it fly. So they're going to have to keep an eye on him in the mid-range. Mason Perry tries to get some offense going.
Taylor, Amelia wants it on his right and gets it. Steady, step back, good!
Too small for me, champ.
Timeout called from the Ballarat Miners. Tied ball game, 69 seconds left to play in the second term. You couldn't have written it. The debutant is on fire at the Fortress.
He just looked at his opponent and went, I don't reckon you're going to get a hand in. The fadeaway wasn't in his legs. He didn't take that step, but he just leaned back a touch. He knew that the shot would be relatively uncontested. And Ian, ever since he missed that third three-point shot, he's been electric. The debutant. I reckon they're going to like him down here at the Fortress.
15 points to his name so far with 1:09 to play in this first half. 41 apiece. Stay with us as we bring you the second half of your NBL 1 South Conference men's action between the Casey Cavaliers and the Ballarat Miners. And, of course, we thank you for tuning in from wherever you're watching around town, the state or country this evening. We hope you've enjoyed the coverage and what's left to come in tonight's game. It's certainly shaping up to be a stellar tied ball game with 1:09 in the second term.
You never want to jinx it, but I'm going to half jinx it. So don't come for me. Great people. But this has all the makings of something really special in this second half. I don't know what that special is going to be, but if you reckon this is the end of the story, there's no more twists from here, oh, you're kidding yourself. This is going to be great. Do not go anywhere. Cancel plans. Sorry, Mum, I'll come see you tomorrow because this is going to be awesome. Strap yourself in. Let's go.
I said it during the women's broadcast that I apologise for the voice.
They could be gone in about 20 minutes, I'm telling you.
I must say I have been under the weather most of this week, and the voice has been the detriment. Fantastic defence from Casey in the paint. Maybe a 3-second violation. No, not called. Jump shot, though, no good either. Emelian goes to Falcon. He's just using his whole body to control the ball tonight. 41 seconds on the clock. And I must say, I'm hoping to get through the rest of this match with the voice somewhat intact. But I apologise for the lack of quality tonight. But stay with us as Emelian just smiles and goes bang!
Where'd they get this guy from?
That's the flattest three-point shot I've ever seen, and it just splashed. Emelian goes to 18 points for the night, and Casey take a 3-point lead with 15 seconds on the clock.
This is crazy.
Casey 44 leading the Ballarat Miners 41.
Now remember, Max Cody did hit a 3 on the buzzer in the first quarter.
Brooks.
Great double team there from Jide.
Dunmore. Pass over to Pasoglu, who goes for the buzzer beater 3-point attempt. No good. Half time from Casey Stadium in Cranbourne, the Fortress, home of the Casey Cavaliers. It's a 3-point ball game. Casey 44 leading Ballarat 41 in what can only be described as an outstanding display of NBL 1 South men's basketball.
Absolutely. What a first half that was. The load has been shared by the Cavs players in terms of their ball movement, in terms of their offense. And I'm going to be honest, I reckon Mason Perry's just about played the best scoreless game, or best scoreless first half I've ever seen. He's ability to open up the offense. His defensive efforts have been amazing for a bloke who, let's be honest, doesn't look like he might be able to defend your shooting guards and your small forwards. But he's done an amazing job. His ability to get a hand in the face has been fantastic. Not a whole lot of bench scoring by the Cavs, but you could also say the same about the Miners. Davidson and... Oh, sorry, I thought I lost my mic then. No, my apologies. But Davidson's been the man, 19 points for the Miners. And Rudolph as well with 13. Do not go anywhere. I think we're about to go to a break, but I promise you, the momentum in this second half, the Fortress at Cranbourne is about to go off.
Stay with us. It's going to be an exciting second half, and we will bring you all the action right after this break.
I'll have a strong, smooth, creamy latte.
Be your own barista at Coles Express. Award-winning Coles Urban coffee culture from just $1.
Express yourself.
At Coles Express.
Fasten up your seatbelts, do a double take. Don't need to be a millionaire to roll this kind of way. Yeah, I got the recipe to do it every day. Straight to the top, and that's where we gon' stay. Yeah. Step it up again. Yeah, we do it every day. Step it up, step it up.
Take it to the next level.
Step it up again.
Mitsubishi Pajero Sport. Elevate your adventure.
Suffer from muscle or mild joint pain? Try Kanzia Pain Relief Cream from Zia, an anti-inflammatory cream providing temporary pain relief using natural active ingredients. Experience the Zia difference at zia.com.au.
At 6'1", I was never going to beat them at the ring, but I could learn to run rings around them. My dream started on the backyard court battling my brothers. Where will your dream start? Determination, the right training, and a superior surface to practice on. You're on your way. Customised to fit any space or budget, superior bounce quality, and the official court partner of the NBL. You know the quality is assured. Elevate your game with Dream Courts.
Welcome back to Casey Stadium in Cranbourne, the fortress home of the Casey Cavaliers for your NBL 1 South Division men's action tonight. Casey Cavaliers 44 points, leading the Ballarat Miners 41 at the end of the first half. Quick injury update for you as well. We saw Hunter Marks go down late in that second term. It's confirmed a left ankle injury. He'll be taken off for scans and x-ray either tonight or tomorrow. So we wish him all the very best and hope that he can get back to doing what he does best, ASAP. So an out for Casey, which is never nice to see. You always want to see your best team out there, but look, Hunter Marks is in the very best of hands.
You wouldn't wish injury on your enemy.
The very best.
Yeah, you wouldn't wish injury on your enemy at all, let alone the home team. He played some pretty decent basketball as well. Hunter Marks, he's gotten himself open on a couple of occasions, but it just means the greater responsibility onto a few of his teammates. And there's one man in particular who could genuinely set this joint alight in the second half, that being Paddy Emilian, the debutant. Mason Perry's been good. I'd like to see a bit more from Jack the more he gets onto the court. I don't really think he's finding himself in good spots. We know how good he is from deep. He's going to start this third quarter as well, so I probably can guarantee he's going to prove me wrong with about 30 seconds into the quarter, but I would like to see the Cavs getting some ascendancy in the rebounds as well. Jide, the main man in that department, but the Miners are going to start with the ball.
And Jack Davidson for the Miners.
No, apologies, I'm wrong. It's going to be the Cavs to start with the ball, with Blake Taylor.
Absolutely electric. Jack Davidson in that first half, putting up 19 points. But we're underway. The second half of your NBL 1 South Division men's action tonight. Casey Cavaliers as the Iceman. Oh, no good off the front of the rim. I think that one's going to be an over-the-back foul against Adam Thosby for a push, actually. So Casey probably lucky there because the shot was no good, and there were three Miners underneath the rim. But Casey going to get an inbound ball.
Yeah, ref in the perfect spot as well, so no complaints there. As the Cavs struggle to separate themselves, but Jide will take it at the top of the key and did not look at the basket at all. And, geez, that's poor turnover.
Davidson.
The man who
didn't want to take Jide
on.
on.
He knew he didn't have the height. Rudolph hesitating there as well. Pazoglu back to Rudolph. Drew three defenders, kicked the ball out. That is good basketball. And who else?
Zach Dunmore with that nice clean shot on the outer side. So Casey will go again. Jack Perry to Mason. Now Taylor. Now back to Mason. Open three. No good. Jide flies. So does Frost. Gets a hand on the back of his. No basket. The double tap. No good. But Frost will go to the line for 2 free throws.
He did well there on the offensive glass, and that's all they got to do, the Cavs. They just got to keep the pressure up in the paint on both ends of the floor.
Tied ball game. 1 minute played in this third term, 44 apiece, with our favourite here, the Iceman, at the free throw line. And first shot is good.
Be interesting to see what kind of offensive changes the Miners are going to bring to the table, because Davidson jacking up as many threes as possible is not going to work all day. For another big reason, he's not actually on the floor. He's got the ball now. Yeah,
both free throws were good, by the way. So Casey moves to 2 points ahead. 46 leading the Miners, 44. As the Miners just try to bounce their way into the rim. Shot no good. That was an air ball from Pazoglu. So Casey will rebound and attack once again on the outer side.
But again, they were better in the paint, the Cavs. That's how they're getting stops. It's good to see.
Perry brothers just working it between them.
Would have done that a few times in the backyard, I think.
And they go again. And now Mason with the three. Good!
His first points of the night, and geez, he's deserved them too. He's worked his absolute tail off.
If you take your time and work for position, results will come. 5-point ball game. Casey Cavaliers 49, leading Ballarat Miners 44. 8:11 to play in this third term.
Jide getting really close to Davidson there, and that was a really classy pass and an even better finish.
That was slick from Dunmore there at the rim. Davidson probably aware that he's getting marked up a little bit here.
Absolutely.
So having to share it around.
Did well then, Zach. Couldn't have done more, you could say.
Perry.
That's probably what
Mason.
that deserves too, by the way.
That's why we left it. Jide back to Mason. He's got Jack at the top. Fakes.
Don't leave
steps
this
back.
man free.
Jack, off the front of the rim. Taylor, good enough to go for the rebound. Oh, that was simply outstanding from the big man.
Oh, baby.
The alley-oop pass was perfection. Left it just at rim height. And Jide went bang. And we're back to a 5-point ball game. Casey Cavaliers 51, leading the Miners 46.
You're absolutely right, though. Credit to Blake Taylor for the amazing pass. Fought through contact there nicely.
Shooting foul called against Jide for a block on the drive. So Davidson will go to the line for two.
Chance for his first points of the quarter. The man who basically ran the offense in the second half of that second quarter. He's done everything but shoot free throws right now, so let's see if he's as good from the line as he is from behind it.
First free throw is good. So 7:18 left to play. And it is a 3-point ball game. Casey 51 leading Ballarat 48.
The noise right now at the Fortress is enormous. Off Mason's foot. They've got to get this over halfway. They do. With Jack, the Perry brothers combining, as they've done so 1,000 times. Jide provides the screen, and then the double team mean there was a lack of defense.
Taylor
and Blake
goes
Taylor
bang!
Just looked and went, "You're going to keep me free, are you, mate? Yeah, you let me know how that goes."
I didn't even see Taylor free in the right pocket, let alone the Casey Cavaliers boys. But Taylor goes bang from the right pocket, and they stretch this back out now to a 6-point lead. Casey Cavaliers 54 to the Ballarat Miners 48. 6:54 to play in the third.
Yeah, really good offense there. I know I'll keep banging on about it, but Mason Perry, he's treating that ball like a prized possession at the moment. He is not letting a possession go to waste and doing things nicely on the defensive front as well, as the Miners players, for some reason, just crash into each other.
Davidson and Pozzoglu need to sort it out.
Both teams are taking their time getting it into their offensive half as well, which is stunting their offense.
Davidson goes the fake, and now Thosley, 3-point is good. And Ballarat Miners move to 51, back to 3-point ball game. 51 trailing Casey 54 with 6:24 to play in the third. Amelia,
oh, well done.
Can't control it. Goes the dive. Davidson steadies for three. Good! Put it in the book, he says. And he extends his tally for the night to 24 out of Ballarat's 54 total. Tied ball game, 6:05 to play in the third. 54 apiece.
Emilian wanted that ball. Pozzoglu needed that ball. That was the difference, and a great finish by Davidson, rewarding an amazing defensive effort as the reach-in foul on Mason Perry to Jack Davidson. And he's pumped up right now, Jack Davidson.
Well, when
means a lot to him.
When you can see the basket from 25 yards away,
that helps.
And shooting like the basket is the kitchen sink, then you're doing all right. So why wouldn't you be happy as he goes again? Good!
Oh, and he's given it the too small as well. I like it. He's got some swagger, this boy. I'm not sure who he gave it to, but he's just dropped the hand and just said, "You're too small to guard me, champ."
So Davidson goes bang again, and they now take the lead. Ballarat Miners 57 to Casey Cavaliers 54. Timeout called. 5:45 to play in the third term. This timeout break brought to you by PhysioWorks Health Group. PhysioWorks sort out all your injury prevention and recovery needs. Nathan is at the Fortress every home game to assist the team on game day. Part of the crew looking after Hunter Marks with that ankle injury. And we wish him all the very best.
Well,
stay with us. It's going to be an exciting conclusion to this game.
Yeah, if you're going to play the villain, which clearly Jack Davidson's doing at the moment, he's whinging to the refs. He's giving it a bit of too small. He's giving it the finger waves. If you're going to do it, you're going to have to deliver. Well, right now, we could just about call him the postman. He's delivering that well at the moment. From deep, he's been awesome. He's drawing double teams. And he is telling the Cavs that right now, you're going to have to go through me if you're going to bring the win, bring the dub. He's talking the talk, he's walking the walk. He's strutting around like he's 7'1".
He's just letting them know that he's in charge.
Yeah, absolutely he is. Here we go, the Perry brothers. Oh, that would have been a perfect way to get out of a timeout.
Jack unable to drop the three-pointer. So Davidson takes on Mason.
Behind the back, the AI crossover.
That's Mason Perry. Kicks it out to the far right shoulder. That's Thosby. Kicks it out to Brooks. Oh, no, sorry, that was Rudolph. And now back with Thosby. Goes to drive over the top of Jide. No good. Jide brings down the rebound. Taylor will come to Jack Perry broadcast side.
The noise intensifying at the Fortress as Jack Perry weaves his way through. Emilian. Mason Perry to Jide, who's got an open man on the far side. Great ball movement. Jack Perry.
Good!
Yes, please!
And tied ball game, 57 apiece. 4 minutes, 46 to play in the third. You couldn't have written it. This is the closest even game in terms of skill that I've seen all season.
Playing amazing.
So stay tuned. This is going to be a one to watch.
Oh, an air ball from Pazoglu. Probably the only thing he's done wrong so far. He's been good. How's the pass?
Jack
2 passes.
Perry. No good.
Deserve better than that. As Bangarang by Skrillex is echoing around Cranbourne. Not the first time, no way. All right, so we know where his range is right now, Jack Davidson, with probably a 30-foot three-point
about
shot.
4 foot closer to the centre court than the attacking third. But the shot no good, so still tied ball game. Emilian. We saw some magic from him in the first half. Oh, I thought Mason Perry was going to take that shot.
Only about 15 foot short. He's taken the deep one.
Good! Can you believe it? From the centre third. With only 3 seconds on the shot clock, he had to go. This is an absolute clinical performance of NBL 1 basketball by both teams tonight. KC Cavaliers 60, leading the Miners 57. And I'm not going to have a voice by the end of this game.
Absolutely not. Jack Davidson, a ripping pass there to Thosby. Basket for basket at the moment. Emilian's going to set a screen here for Jack Perry. Well, not really. Emilian wants it back. The debutant. Deep 2 is good. Nicely done by the debutant, who's rushing back on defense as well. And the Cavs right now are matching basket for basket. Jack Davidson, the man who's running the offense for the Miners. Mason Perry running it for the Cavs, doing nicely.
Emilian cracks 20 for the night.
Yeah, Pazoglu, great pass. Rudolph, that's amazing. And that'll be an and one for the man who right now, he's not really friendly towards the Cavs, I don't think. But he is running this shit, Jack Davidson. A quick discussion, and he is going to go for his 30th point. As we see a couple of substitutions. Amos Brooks back on. We know that he'll be confronting Jide next time he comes back on the court. 1 point the margin, just under 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Davidson for 30, sinks it. So Jide and Brooks look out for that in the paint as Mason Perry, who hasn't had the scoreboard impact of Jack Davidson, but he's running this offense nicely. Emilian, Jack Perry, back to Mason, who launched from downtown. It's got to be said. He had some space but lost control of the ball. Jide, back to Mason Perry, top of the keys, lost it though. Cody, wanting someone to come to him. Jide says, get out of here with that. And the offense just stalling a little bit. Don't want to be giving Cody that much space. Launched a buzzer beater on the quarter-time siren. Makes his way to the top of the key. Wants at his range. Jide's not going to be able to get the block on Rudolph there. Miners up 2.
64, the Miners leading Casey 62. 2:10 to play in this third term. Perry brothers linking up again. Emilian on the left side, steadies, fades away. Good! Tied ball game, 2 minutes on the clock in the third. You couldn't have written it. Our match day producer's behind us here, and he's about as excited as you could be. 64 apiece with a minute and a half to go.
Your debut contested jumper in his face. Cody's getting double teamed here by Jack Perry and Jide, although Jide's backed off. That was some nice defence there from Jack Perry, but it's going to be an inbound ball, Miners' possession.
Yeah, Davidson looking for the foul there, but not receiving one.
A lot of size on the court at the moment. The Perry brothers, of course, not the biggest. But Jack Davidson as well, probably the only short bloke. I don't know why he left the Miners on their own, although if they're going to shoot like that in the paint, why wouldn't you? As Jack Perry clears. Sorry, Jack Perry's got it now from Blake Taylor. What can Mason do? Back to Emilian, open three. Oh, yes, please!
Takes his tally to 25 for the night. And the Cavaliers retake the lead. 67 to Ballarat 64 with a minute 10 on the clock.
He's just asked Nab if they're open late because he's got some checks to cash, the great man. And that's going to be a Cavs ball.
Davidson couldn't get the pass to Pizoglu clean enough. And Pizoglu couldn't control it, so out of bounds. And it's going to be a Casey inbound ball. 3-point leaders with 66 seconds left on the clock in the third. Don't turn us off. Stay with us. This is going to be an absolutely thrilling evening of basketball.
Absolutely it is, as Emilian has 2 on him. Didn't want to touch that at all. It's going to be his ball again. Turns out 5-on-1 in the pointing department's not going to get you the ball, who would have thought. 54 exactly. That's seconds on the clock. It feels like there's going to be that many lead changes in the run home as well as Frost. Moving the ball around Emilian. Is he going to go the contested jumper? He's going to take 3 on and 1! Where did they get this kid?
And he goes and gives the camera behind the advertiser Boz a quick wink and a thumbs up as well. He knows that was just special.
He was the bowling ball and they were pinned in the paint. And this would be an exclamation point on a fantastic piece of play. Also, don't let it go underrated at the moment. This would put them up by 6. At least 2 possessions, and that would be from downtown.
Emilian goes to the line for an ad 1. Here's lighting the Fortress on fire tonight. This for a 6-point lead. No good off the front of the rim. Cody with the rebound. 45 seconds on the clock. 5-point margin. Casey 69 leading Ballarat 64 as Cody tries to go all the way. Davidson fakes. Tries to draw the 3-point foul. And would you believe it? The foul not caught. And he's arguing with the ref. He still wants the foul. But Davidson just drops the ugliest 3-point shot I've ever seen in my life. Steph
amazing.
Curry's calling him for tips at that point.
Through contact. Blake Taylor driving, kicking it out.
The Iceman.
Great ball movement. Mason
Mason.
Perry. No, that's going to be left-hand side. Bucknell fighting for the rebound, not going to get it. Cody's going to clear for the Miners.
2-point ball game. 9 seconds on the clock. Davidson's going to want the 3. Cody drives, falls over, no good. Emilian.
There's still a chance
Taylor.
here. 1 to go. Taylor.
Shots up, no good off the glass.
That would have lit the joint on fire.
Emilian ran in for the rebound off the glass there for the dunk, but the clock beat everyone. 3-quarter time, 2-point ball game. The Casey Cavaliers leading 69 to Ballarat 67. And what an outstanding final term of basketball we've got for you tonight.
Oh, mate, what a finish this is going to be. 2 weeks ago, we had the Absolute Classic with the girls. We've now got the Absolute Classic with the boys at the moment. Don't go anywhere. I swear this crowd's getting bigger the longer this night goes on. And if the Cavs can pull this off, Cranbourne is going to be up in lights in a very, very good way. I can't wait for this finish.
So, at the end of the third term, Casey in control of this game. Leading the point tally, though, for the Ballarat Miners is Jack Davidson with 33 points to his name. And the debutant for Casey, Patrick Emilian with 27 of his own. What a way to ingrace yourself to the new home crowd. This 3-quarter time break brought to you by Melbourne Orthodontic Group. Need some work done in your teeth? Head to Melbourne Orthodontic Group and keep smiling. And we also take this opportunity to thank you for joining us for tonight's broadcast. Apologies for the quality of my voice, but we hope we've done enough for you to enjoy what has been an exciting evening of NBL 1 South Conference basketball live from Casey Stadium in Cranbourne, the Fortress, home of the Casey Cavaliers. So stay with us for the final term. 2-point margin. Don't go anywhere. Don't turn us off. It's going to be a thrilling game.
Bon Jovi's just told us we're halfway there. We ain't halfway there. We're 10 minutes off being there. This is going to be a great finish. I'm telling you, cancel plans. Catch up with your mates tomorrow. If you're running late, you're running late. This is going to be an almighty finish. One for the ages as Cody receives the inbound ball. First basket critical. Best defense is going to get the job done. Geez, I'm not sure if leaving your man open is going to get the job done. But the three falls. Who would have thought? Jordan Lingard. I think that's his first points for the night as well, as Mason Perry comes up the court. They don't want to be stagnant in their defense. Bucknell turns the ball over. That's not going to get you much court time, young man.
Yeah, tip off Cody. The result, Pozoglu goes out to the far shoulder. Three-point attempt there from Thosby, no good. So Casey will come away again. Mason Perry comes up through centre court, uses Jide, has Frost, can't quite get it to him. And the Ballarat coach wanting a piece of the scoreboard himself. Fakes the three from the sideline, but it's going to be a Ballarat inbound ball.
Yeah, a little bit sloppy there on offense for both their possessions so far, the Cavs, but nerves are all right. They haven't been punished for it on the scoreboard too much yet. Down by one.
Jack Perry and a million for Casey come back on for Bucknell and Frost as well.
Pretty handy inclusions, those.
Cody gets held up. Pozoglu moves it into Lingard and then gets dispossessed. Taylor will go up the other way. Centre court, marked by Cody. Looks for Jide. Won't use him. Emelian moves. Jack Perry looks for his brother. Finds him. Jide comes in for the screen. Mason won't use him. Goes to Jack. Fakes the three. Steady. 7 on the shot clock. They've got to go. Mason holds up. Loses at his feet. Kicks off to Jack. Jack lets one fly. No good. Short to the right-hand side and off the bottom of the glass and out of play. Ballarat inbound ball, 1 point ball game, 8:29 on the clock. Ballarat 70, leading Casey 69.
Yeah, they were pretty hesitant. The Cavs in their offense. Cody's got the ball. And the Cavs right now are just wanting a stop. Plenty of pace on this ball. Good defense by the Cavs, forcing the Miners outside. Cody's got it again. He's got too many defenders around him. Taking time off the shot clock's pretty handy here for the Cavs. The turnover's complete. Jack Perry, Emelian, one-on-one. And one! And one! And he's given a little to the crowd as well. Who can blame him? He's got 30.
29.
He's got 29. My apologies, but I'll tell you what else he's got. He's got the heart of the Cavs. Let me tell you.
Yeah, don't worry about fear the Cavalier. Just fear the Emelian tonight. That was a fantastic play as well. And good awareness to be able to get the wrap around to the left and then the hook, draw the contact and still make the basket. Emelian goes to the line for his 30th point with an ad one. 8 minutes to play.
That's the only part of his game he hasn't got right so far, the free throws. But if they can isolate him one-on-one down the stretch, good luck stopping him is all I'll say. Geez, that might have been an illegal screen there.
Yeah, that would have been an in-the-back free kick if this was the AFL. Rudolph goes to drive and then the kick out. Pozoglu goes bang with a three. And they take back the lead. 73 Ballarat to Casey 71. 7:41 on the clock.
Mason Perry coming up the court. He's dictating terms. They have slowed down on offense a little bit, the Cavs. Perry, goes one way, then the other. Jide with the tip. Beautiful, tied game. Great work on the paint. It's where he looks the most dangerous.
You love to see the big men fly, and that's what they're there for. You wanted him in the paint, and that's what he produces. Tied ball game as Davidson tries to outdo Jide. No good. They work it back to the top of the key. Kick out wide, Pozoglu. Now back out Thosby. 3-point, no good. Had a little too much on it. Emelian with the defensive rebound. Tied ball game. 73 apiece. 7 minutes on the clock.
So Perry trying to get something going. Emelian, good man to try to start something with. Jide, contested jumper. That'll do. Thank you. Top of the elbow.
And clock will stop for a quick floor sweep under the rim. 6 minutes 50 on the clock. Casey 75, leading Ballarat 73. It has been an outstanding display of NBL 1 South men's action tonight.
Say what, if you've got a man of that size that at the top of the elbow, no dribble, can just make them go in, he's just building weapons, which is fantastic to see.
Davidson.
That's an ambitious inbound.
Called for the long one and got it. Jack Perry holds him up. Now double team, Perry and Jide. Jide gets the hand in there, and that's enough to dispossess Davidson. Now Jack Perry will come up centre court, broadcast side. Emilian, Mason Perry, Jide, just outside the zone. Works it back to Mason. Now Emilian, steadies three, good! With Pozzoglu in his face, he goes flush. And he racks up his 32nd point of the night.
Who is this guy? My goodness.
And now Casey with a 5-point lead, 78 leading Ballarat 73, 6:07 on the clock.
I think Jide might have got his hand on that one. I'm calling it anyway as Mason Perry crosses to Emilian. Gets inside, Euro step, that'll do! That will do! And I think the timeout's been called. And they're going off in the Fortress. 80-73, Cavs up 7, timeout, 6 minutes to go. Do not go anywhere. We're in for a fantastic finish. 34 points for the new boy. Patrick Emilian is putting on a show.
Takes the lead for points scored for the match now as well. I reckon at the end of the third, we were thinking that might have been impossible. Davidson had just had points racked up next to his name all night, but Emilian's come out to show why he got signed, and hasn't he just made us all, well, we'll all be talking about this debut for a very, very long time. This timeout brought to you by Berwick College. Heading into year 7 or looking to make a change, get in touch with Berwick College to see if their basketball academy is the fit for you. 7-point margin, Casey Cavaliers 80, leading Ballarat 73 with 5:59 on the clock in the final term. Live from Casey Stadium in Cranbourne, the Fortress, home of the Casey Cavaliers.
If we do get to final possession, which I know is still a while away, you just feel it's going to be Emilian or Davidson. Anyone else taking it, I know Jack Perry's a star, especially from deep, but it's got to be one of those two, surely. And what a finish that would be, as we see the Miners are bringing the ball up the court. And right now, they're the ones on the back foot. Probably haven't seen it all day as Davidson goes the bounce pass. He's going to get it back here, but Rudolph from 3. He's been pretty good at that tonight, but that's going to be right. Emilian with the rebound. He's doing everything at the moment. Mason Perry's going to bring it up. A bit slow, but as we know with Meso, there's purpose behind it. He's just trying to find someone free. He hasn't really looked at shooting. Why would you when you got this man double-teamed Emilian? Back to Mason Perry downtown. Hits the back of the rim. Thosby with the rebound, and now with some pace, the Miners find Rudolph. The 3-ball is good, and that is going to be Thosby. I reckon that's his 4th 3 of the night. He's been relatively inconsistent with it, but you don't want to be giving a man of that quality that much space.
4 points the margin now. Casey Cavaliers 80, leading the Ballarat Miners 76. 5 minutes flat to play. Jide posts up Rudolph. Mason Perry. 6 on the shot clock. Has to go. Decides to do it himself. That's no good off the glass. Shortened to the right-hand side, and the Miners will go again through Davidson. Centre court with some pace. Kicks it out. Wants the 1-2. Hasn't got the room. Gets the bounce pass. Davidson with the layup. How much will he winch to the ref? No, not this time. Knew that was clean. Couldn't get the basket down, so Mason Perry will come away up centre court for the Cavs.
They sure will. And again, they're just trying to look for the next basket in the best way possible. Shot clock down to single digits. Mason Perry hasn't actually passed it. 6 to go. He drives. Left hand. No. Right hand, I should say. But the shooting foul. 2 to the line. And that's more than fine if you're Mason Perry.
So unlucky not to get the basket there too with the wrap around the rim.
Just rolled around. You know him better than I do as his free throw form. That's hard to say. Try saying that 5 times. Free throw form. There you go.
As well as anything else, he's just an all-round package. Him and his brother, when they're both, if they're both on song, they're a very hard offense to beat. Even with the bigs around them, the Casey Cavaliers look to the Perry brothers to light up and take charge of their offense, and the bigs obviously take care of it down at the other end as well.
He's going to make you look good if he lands this one.
So 2 for 2 from the free throw line, and we're back to a 6-point ball game. Casey 82 leading Ballarat 76, 4:12 on the clock. Davidson on the far side goes the drive, now gets double teamed.
Really good defense by Jack Perry there.
Thosby back out. Pozzoglu, no, Davidson will receive. Back out to Rudolph, 3-point no good. Jide with the rebound, drops it at Perry's feet. That's Mason. And they'll come away broadcast side with 3:49 on the clock.
They will. Jack Perry to Jide. Why wouldn't you with the mismatch? He's going to get double teamed. You know what that means? There's an extra offensive player somewhere. Blake Taylor was the man. He couldn't finish at the rim, though. And with some pace on the ball, the Miners have come away. And that's going to be a travel on Thosby.
Out of play ball, baseline.
Oh, my apologies.
Thosby lost control.
Cavs ball, though. And Mason Perry once again.
Pressure is everything.
It absolutely is. Makes diamonds. He dishes away. That's probably the quickest he's given the ball away in the last 5 offensive possessions. To the man of the hour, Emilian. He dishes it out to Jack Perry, back to Mason. And they work together, the Perry brothers. Emilian's got a man in his face. If he lands this contested jumper, he can't. The double team from Davidson was excellent. The crossover, the deep ball, and that's going to be an air ball from Davidson. He did everything right and ran out of gas at the wrong moment. The crowd giving him the Bronx cheers. If you're going to play the villain, you've got to land it. He hasn't on this occasion. Cavs up 6. 3 minutes to go. This is going to be epic.
82, Casey leading Ballarat 76. We count down the final 3 minutes. Hands in against Emilian, not called. Has enough composure to control it though. Jack Perry.
Surely without the range from there.
Taylor, left pocket, no good. Shorten off the rim. Davidson collects. Waits for his teammates to run up court. Gets around Taylor. Kick out to the far right side for 3! And a fantastic shot by Thosby to take the sting out of the crowd. 3-point ball game. Casey 82 leading Ballarat 79. 2:26 on the clock.
There was a great screen by Pozzoglu as well. As the debutant dishes out to Blake Taylor, to Jide, to Jack Perry. The offense has stalled a bit here for the Cavs. 2 turnovers in their last 2 offensive possessions. Got to shoot this. No way. No, you're right. There was no way as the air ball results in a shot clock violation. And you can just feel the tide of this game turning a touch in favour of the Miners. They're only a possession down, albeit a deep one. 82-79. Nearly 2 minutes to go. Davidson with ball in hand. He's been amazing today. Over 30. Assists are plenty. Rudolph, top of the key, going towards the left elbow. Gives it to Pozzoglu, who's had an up and down kind of night. To Lingard. To Thosby. Players getting in the way of each other. Back to on 1. Oh no. For everything that the debutant has done right, that one will not go down as a highlight as Pozzoglu lands the 3. Deep on the left side. Got the contact. Emilian's limping. They're going for the lead. That had everything, that offensive possession.
Certainly did, and great control as well to be able to still get that shot down. Now, if you ever could write a script about how this game was going to go, we've got a 3-pointer add 1, which is good. 1-point ball game. The Miners, 83, leading Casey 82. 1 minute 40 on the clock. You couldn't have written it. This is why you come to the basketball, to see competitive skills like these on display as Jide tries the double wrap, no good. And the Miners will settle and come away again.
They'd almost pay $1,000 for a bucket right now, the Cavs. Their last 4 offensive possessions have not gone their way at all as Davidson dishes off to Thosby, to Lingard. He gets it out now to Pozzoglu, who coughs it up to Mason Perry.
All the
Some
way.
pace on the offense.
Emilian,
3-on-1.
Oh.
And Blake Taylor has thrown it away. Had Jide and Emilian all the basket. He chose the 4th option, not the right one, that being his opponent. And Jack Davidson will be looking to make them pay.
55 seconds on the clock, 1-point ball game. Ballarat 83, leading Casey 82. Intercept ball. Mason Perry gets a hand in. Jide gets it back to him. Goes all the way with the drive. Jide with the tip in. No good. Tries for a 3rd time. Can't get it to go. No whistle call. Play stops.
Jeez,
Players don't know what's going on.
When they say they can't buy a basket, I meant it as Thosby. He's got Pozzoglu wide, manned by Jide, which means the paint hasn't got the size in it that's required. They could be getting a rebound. They want to spread this offense. The shot clock's at 4, so they've got to go quickly here. The Cavs will have another possession. Rudolph on 3, gets it to go. Timeout called. Miners up 3. My goodness. It only feels like there's one basket left in this. Who do you want taking this final possession, this final shot?
I think for Casey, you've got to give it to the man of the hour, Patrick Emilian, tonight. 3-point ball game, 85 Ballarat leading, Casey 82, 13.9 on the clock. Casey called timeouts, and it will be a Casey inbound ball when we resume play. It has been an absolutely outstanding display of NBL 1 South Conference men's action from Casey Stadium in Cranbourne, the Fortress, home of the Casey Cavaliers, and we hope you've enjoyed the coverage tonight as well, as we take a quick look at the tally, and Patrick Emilian leading the match with 34 points to his name, and Jack Davidson for the Ballarat Miners with 33. No shot clock, 13.9 on the clock, one
About
possession
11 of
in
the
it.
last 13 points right now, the Miners. And now, we said that the Cavs couldn't buy a bucket. They've only got to buy one at this point, which would tie the game. You would know better than me. Overtime?
I really hope
I
not.
hope so. No, I do. Well, if it's not overtime, it's going to be a win unless there's a 3-and-1, which, by the way, might set this joint alight.
If Emilian drops a 3 and gets
And
an
gets the
and
and
one
one.
for
Well,
it,
he was the one that gave it away out here.
we will need to replace the roof
We
at
will.
the Fortress.
What a day it's been. It's bitterly cold outside, but the atmosphere in this building right now, they call it the Fortress for a reason. And to call the final possession is Trent.
13.9 on the clock. 3-point ball game. Jack Perry uses his brother. Waits for the option. That's going to be a foul call, but it takes valuable seconds off the clock. Casey Ball, 9.3. Ballarat Miners 85, leading Casey 82. 9.3 on the clock.
Still got a foul to give too. I think there's a timeout's called.
Timeout called, Casey Cavaliers with 9.3 on the clock. This timeout break brought to you by YMCA 1 Casey. The NBL 1 men and women keep fit each and every week by heading into the gym at Casey Race, and make sure to take full advantage of the fantastic facilities in there as well. 9.3 to play, 3-point ball game. The Miners up by 1 3-pointer.
If they pull this off, I don't reckon I'll have been more excited for a draw. I'm going to be honest. It would be crazy. It's what this game deserves, to be honest. It's been an absolute belter. I think the largest lead of the game was 10 points. And I think that was in the first quarter. So, you got to remember as well, they only scored 13 points in the first quarter, Casey. Of course, to 23, which was the Miners. The final play being drawn up. Not sure what you can say as a defensive unit. Hope like hell they don't make it. Would probably be where I'd start.
Block threes.
Yeah.
So what can Casey produce? You'd think one play left, one basket in them. 3-point ball game, 9.3 to play.
Interesting that Jack Perry's taken this.
Mason receives. They want it in Emilian's hand. Taylor with the shot. 3 good!
This joint has gone punter!
Timeout called, Ballarat Miners. 3.7 on the clock. Tied ball game, 85 apiece.
How bloody good is this sport?
Blake Taylor has raised the roof of the Fortress.
Of all the blokes we mentioned to take the final shot, we didn't mention him, but the positive is maybe the Miners didn't either. How did he have so much room to shoot? That is ice in his veins. I know you love the Iceman himself, but my goodness, Blake Taylor. Now, you've spent so much time drawing up this final offensive play. They've now got to come up with a defensive one. It's a lot easier, I believe, to chase the lead down than to hold one. Jack Davidson's been on fire. He seems the logical choice, but considering they only needed 2, they could be looking at Rudolph as well. Or, like we predicted with the Cavs, it could be someone totally random. It could be Pazoglu. It could be Max Cody, who did drain one from deep on the quarter-time siren. This joint right now is going off.
The atmosphere in this building is electric.
What a game.
Tied ball game, 85 apiece, 3.7 on the clock. Ballarat Miners inbound ball. Don't go anywhere. Ball in, tries the alley-oop, can't bring it down, block. No basket. Gide holds. It's a draw. 85 apiece.
We probably should have checked. Is there overtime?
The court announcer has called timeout, but there was no out-of-ball play. The referees have come over and verified overtime is the course of action. Holy smokes, so for the first time at the Fortress in 2023, we're going into overtime. 85 apiece. You couldn't have written it. This is exactly why you come to the NBL 1.
Well, don't I have a story to tell the missus why I'm going to be home late tonight? Oh, my goodness. What a joy it is to be here. What a pleasure it's been to watch. We hope you've enjoyed it. We hope you're excited. We're excited. And after all that, we're getting extra action. I'm going to assume 5 minutes of overtime.
Maybe an entire period. We'll see if we can get that checked.
We'd prepared for everything. We hadn't prepared for overtime.
That's it, yeah. As if I thought my voice wasn't going to hold up for 4 terms.
You were struggling to get to the end of the fourth quarter.
We're going to go to a 5th. So stay with us. Hold on to your hats. The edge of your seat type action this is for your NBL 1 South Conference action. We're going into overtime at the Fortress in Casey Stadium in Cranbourne, the home of the Casey Cavaliers.
Just quietly, I know we lauded Blake Taylor, and rightly so. How's the block, by the way? Unless you're LeBron on, I think, Draymond in the NBA Finals, no one talks about clutch blocks. That was a clutch block. Holy smokes, here we go.
So I think we get 5 minutes. Yes, confirmed. 5 minutes of overtime. Hold on to your hats.
As many as it takes.
Here we go.
Mason Perry bringing the ball up the court. Gave Jack a little bit too much space. Finds Jide with some size. Nice twist. Right hand, not going to go. Rolled off the right of the rim. The Miners are going to take it. Davidson with a bit more pace. He finds Lingard. Pazoglu. Left side. They don't want to go inside the three-point range here at all. Cosby moving around. Jide went for a double team, but they get back on defense nicely. They're going to have to shoot this at some point. Pazoglu does. Not going to make it. Good defense on the perimeter by the Cavs. Mason Perry finds the debutant who got fouled. That's going to be one. No. Okay. Turnover.
Travel called. I didn't think you could be pinned for travel if you don't have possession of the ball, but
a fascinating call, that one.
Ref,
they've done a fantastic job tonight, the refs.
Ref thought he had enough of it to be able to bounce it.
And after all that, no one scored.
4:22 to play in overtime. 85 apiece. You couldn't have written it. Davidson receives. Centre court. Jack Perry holding him up. Thosby. Lingard.
Been on the court the last 4 minutes. Lingard hasn't taken a shot, so clearly they want him to be the facilitator.
Pass to Davidson, and the shot no good. But they'll go again. Second attempt from inside the zone is good, and Rudolph will add to the total for the night. 2-point ball game. Ballarat 87, leading Casey 85 as Mason Perry goes for the kick out on the far side, and off the back of Davidson. It's going to be out of play. Casey inbound ball.
Didn't have the rush of blood there. Rudolph moved Jide out of his spot, got to his own. Right elbow, dropped it. Turnover by the Cavs. The Miners moving it with purpose. This is Thosby. He's got his man Rudolph, who's been outside of Jack Davidson, the offensive man. Lingard, that's not going to work. No wonder he wasn't shooting in the last 4.5 minutes. Mason Perry's got the ball back. He finds the debutant. No, not quite. Jide nearly collides with his teammate. He did actually, causing the turnover. The Miners are going to bring this up. Rudolph got the separation because Jide had fallen over and drains the three. Up 5, 90-85. Timeout called, rightly so, by the Cavs. And it's been a 5-0 start for the Miners at the start of overtime with nearly 2 minutes taken off. 3:17 to go.
Ballarat Miners 90, leading Casey Cavaliers 85. 3:17 to play in overtime. As Casey called timeout, that's 2 easy baskets in a row. Jide obviously unhappy with the collision from Emilian at the offensive end, but you've still got to be able to get back. You're the big and you've got to be able to block those open shots. And that's how you drop 5 points in a minute and a half. Whoa, stay with us. I can't remember the last time I saw a game of basketball this exciting. Overtime at the Fortress, 5-point ball game, 3:17 to play for your NBL 1 South Conference men's action.
Absolutely. We are going to need a grandstand finish. We've already had one, and that was only about 2.5 minutes ago, it feels like. The Cavs are going to need a basket. They're going to have to run some team offense. ISO ball hasn't really worked for them. But when they've been able to get open looks or a million in a one-on-one, he's got 34. Davidson, 33. Rudolph, 25. And a few double digits across the board as Mason Perry brings the ball up the court. It's been fantastic. Bounce pass was dangerous to Emilian. Knocked back to Perry. He wants his spot, Meso. Finds Jide in his. Fights through contact. And there's the basket the Cavs needed to get overtime started. Down 3 to go.
90, the Ballarat Miners leading Casey 87. Back to a 3-point ball game. 2:50 to play. Lloyd, happy to sit and hold. Passes it over to Thosby. Rudolph.
Better defense by Jide on Rudolph there.
Lloyd. Back to Rudolph, 3-point, good!
And then not so good defense.
And we're back to a 4-point ball game.
Yeah, just done enough there, Rudolph. Davidson's gone cold, he's stepped up. Speaking of stepping up, that's what Mason Perry's going to be doing. He gets the screen from Jide. Faked it, fights through contact. That's an amazing touch off the glass. Mason Perry replies from Rudolph's 3, and we're back to a 4-point ball game. Davidson feels like he hasn't scored for a while. He's still facilitating, as is this man, Lingard. Great pass, although a little bit too much on it from Lloyd. Rudolph fights through contact, can't score. Jide, Blake Taylor, he's going to have to move it pretty quickly. He does now, back to Mason Perry, because why wouldn't you? He's running the show. The little man with a big heart and an even bigger jump. Wants the screen from Jide, got it. Between the legs, Jide back to Perry, back to Emilian. He's a contested jump shot animal. That one not going to go. The defensive rebound by Jack Davidson.
1:35 to play. 4-point ball game. Ballarat Miners 93. Leading Casey 89. Davidson at centre court. Waits for the screen from Rudolph. Uses it. Bounce pass out wide. Lloyd. 3 no good. Off the rim. May get it back here.
Great hustle.
Taylor. Can't find Emilian cleanly. Jack Perry wrestles for it with Lloyd.
Great
and he's going to end up with it.
2-on-1.
Goes all the way, and Perry knocks it down. Timeout called. Ballarat Miners. 2-point ball game. 68 seconds on the clock. Ballarat Miners 93, leading Casey 91 with 1:08 on the clock in overtime.
And it might not be the only overtime, by the way. Now, I don't know about you people. I've got places to be. Now, hopefully the Cavs can get over the line. Great hustle on that offensive rebound. Jide did amazing. Jack Perry, the coolness, the calmness, the composure to finger roll and get it in 1 minute and 8 seconds. And this timeout brought to you by Pakenham Mazda. Have you seen the latest cars Mazda have got to offer? Head down to Pakenham Mazda for your next car. Make sure that you mention Casey Basketball. They'll treat you well down there. A massive thank you to all of the sponsors. A massive thank you to everyone that has watched, listened, and hopefully most of all enjoyed. This ain't over. There are still more twists to come in this tale. It's going to be Miners' ball. The Cavs need a stop. Hopefully you can stay with us throughout. Although, if you have, you ain't going anywhere. I promise you. Overtime. The Cavs, the Miners. The ladies went down earlier, 13 points. And at quarter time, it seemed like a similar story, 13-23. But since then, they've landed 78 points. That being, of course, the Cavs to the 70 of the Miners. 1 minute 8 to go. Let's go.
Davidson receives the inbound ball. 2-point ball game. 1:02 on the clock. Davidson works around Jack Perry, goes the drive, kicks out and loses possession. That's backcourt.
It is. Didn't fall for the crossover at all.
No
I think it was
discipline
Blake
from
Taylor.
Jake Lloyd.
Didn't fall for the crossover, didn't give Davidson the space, and he had no room to move.
So Casey get the ball back at their attacking third. Jack Perry to bring it in.
He's brought it in every inbound.
54.5 on the clock. 2-point ball game. Ballarat 93 leading Casey 91.
Perry finds Emilian, and why wouldn't you? I don't think a contested jumper's to go, although, no, short. Back to Lloyd, who gets the rebound. Jide causing a problem. They're going to have to get out of their defensive half here relatively quickly. How much time? My goodness. Davidson finds Lloyd. They're trapping them in their defensive half here. The Cavs, and a foul. It would have been a turnover to Jide. 29 seconds left on the clock. It's only a 2-point ball game. The shot clock will be set at 14. So no matter what, there's going to be more than one offensive possession here. Thosby comes to the bench. What a finish we've got here at the Fortress. 29.3 seconds to go.
2-point ball game. Ballarat lead by 2. And Ballarat ball. Davidson. Been Ballarat's best by a mile tonight. Works Jack Perry on the right side. Jump shot, fade away, no
Great
good.
defense, Jack Perry.
Taylor. Now goes to Mason. They've got to go quickly.
No
13
shot clock.
on the clock. 2-point ball game. You drop a 3, you win by 1. Drop a basket and it's OT2. Taylor no good. Fight for possession. Jump ball the result, and it will be a Miners possession. 4.2 on the clock. And the Miners with a 2-point lead. 93-91 Casey have an inbound ball with 4.2 on the clock.
I don't mind them going for that at all. Thought they might have got a foul call, but I reckon they're going to go for the turnover first of all, and then hopefully the 3. And Mason Perry fouls, which I think will take us to the free throw line. No, it doesn't look like it. So another inbound ball, only 0.8 taken off the clock. 3.5 seconds to go. Casey needs to do everything they can to stop this going to hand. Blake Taylor got a hand in, but it's a foul. And a collective ooh from the Fortress crowd. They can't believe it. 2.6 off the clock. Sorry, on the clock, I should say. Another inbound ball. They have defended the inbound beautifully, it's got to be said. The Cavs, they've only got to do it one more. Unlikely, but given the way this game's gone, anything is possible.
Foul trouble now, though, too, for Casey. So one more foul, and this one's out of reach. 2.6 on the clock.
Got to foul him. If you don't turn it over, I've got to foul him.
Sideline infraction!
Who's writing this script? Oh, my goodness. Jack Davidson will be the man with the free throw.
Technical foul against Casey.
Oh, not the way the debutant wanted to end his night. But Davidson doesn't make it. Not happy.
But Ballarat will retain possession.
They will.
So
and that's going to be key.
The technical foul shot no good.
But what it does mean is they can foul, send them to the free throw line and hope they miss one.
2.6 on the clock. Still a 2-point ball game. Turnover necessary for Casey. That'll do it.
Oh, a second left. They need Davidson to miss one. It would almost be worth, I know this sounds silly, but if he makes the first one, just throw it at the backboard, create a scuffle, and you're not going to be able to get it away with a second on the clock. But if he doesn't make it, of course, he has to go for it. It doesn't go in. All right. I've seen weirder things. Is he going to throw it at the backboard and just create a scuffle, or just throw it at the rim?
What a night. What a way to cap off this night. If he misses this, Guzmani Gomez shouting burritos. No.
A second to go, a 3 to win it. They've got to find someone. Oh, that's not going to happen. Jide got his hands on the ball. Out of bounds, and that's it. The Miners have got it in overtime, 94-91. A somewhat anticlimactic ending, but what a basketball game.
Certainly has been for your NBL 1 Men's South Division tonight. And I can't remember the last time we saw a more exciting basketball game, especially here at the Fortress. 3-point winners, the Ballarat Miners, 94, defeating Casey Cavaliers, 91, in what can only be described as an absolutely breathtaking game of basketball. Both teams leaving everything out on the court, and the Miners able to just stand up, and they'll go home tonight with both teams having been victorious.
Absolutely, they will. And Patrick Emilian, the debutant, how exciting. He had the slam, he had some threes, contested jumpers, the block that pretty much started his night, but he did have the technical foul at the end. Couple of defensive efforts in that last overtime he mightn't be too proud of, but geez, haven't they got one there in Patrick Emilian. A huge shout out to Jack Davidson. He was amazing, probably the best on the court for mine. And I think Tyler Rudolph's game can't go underrated either. He was amazing, especially hitting the threes in overtime as well, with the supporting cast of both sides showing up when they needed to. It's been an absolute rip-up. It's been a pleasure to be a part of, and we hope everyone's enjoyed it at home.
We thank you for joining us tonight. Jack Davidson leading the Miners offense with 33 points, supported beautifully by Rudolph with 28 of his own. And for Casey, well, the debutant Patrick Emilian top scored for the game with 34 points to his name, and it's City Jide with 16 of his own in support as well. We thank you for joining us for tonight's NBL 1 South Division basketball. Both women and men put on a fantastic display. Unfortunately for the Casey Cavaliers, neither team able to get the result, but geez, they fought hard right till the end. Reece Knight, it's been a pleasure to have you back. Apologies, I haven't sounded a lot cleaner throughout the night, but it's been a pleasure to have you, and what a night to come back for.
Yeah, amazing. The week off as Casey went on the road, and geez, if they're going to offer us games like that, we need to be here every week. My goodness. But fingers crossed the next home game is half as good as what we've presented here. And also the girls can get back on the board as well.
So live from Casey Stadium in Cranbourne, the Fortress, home of the Casey Cavaliers. Reece Knight, my name is Trent Knight, and we will see you next time back here at the Fortress for your NBL 1 South Basketball.